Alright, so Treyarch just got finished with the Operation Apocalypse Z live stream, and I took down the Cliff Notes version of the live stream in case you want to just hear everything that they went over, the stuff that I was interested in jotting down. I skipped over a lot of the zombie stuff, even though, like with Alpha Omega, I skipped over a lot of that because I'm not really that interested, surprisingly, even though everything else looks amazing. So, we're going to start from the beginning, go to the very end. So water in the blackout map is now red, and it looks a lot like blood. But at the same time, blood is a lot of like a darker color than what they showed off in the map, so it doesn't really look like blood. But, you know, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief and such. They showed off a trailer. It had a tagline. It had a couple of taglines that stuck out to me. We start with, "Undead can't be contained." Obviously, you know, speaking about how this is a zombies-focused operation. From there, we moved into something else I noticed. It appears that now some of, if not all of the specialists in multiplayer will have zombies-related skins, such as, you know, like Ajax, but he's a zombie now. You know, Ruin, but he's been scalped and is a zombie now. Obviously, I made those two up, but, you know, just a little, like, thing for you to visualize in your head. From there, Reaper is the new multiplayer specialist. It's kind of been, you know, floating around for a while that he was next on the board. It kind of got leaked, and then Treyarch started to kind of tease it, and, yeah, the rest is history. From there, you know, we got another tagline, "Zombies goes nuclear." That's talking about Alpha Omega, and we got "Prepare for the Apocalypse," which is just the operation in general, you know, Apocalypse Z. Next, they mentioned that zombies are going to be coming to every mode in Black Ops 4, and in Alpha Omega, both the Primus and Ultimus crews are going to be playable in the Alpha Omega map, and you can play as any of the characters in any combination, so that's going to be freaking sweet, even though I'm not going to have the map since I don't own the Black Ops Pass. They also mentioned that Alpha Omega is 400% larger than the Nuketown Zombies map we had back in Black Ops 2. It will also feature prototype ray guns, and they mentioned that we've got some new AI coming, two of which they showed off in the form of the Jolting Jack, which is a Nova Crawler that fires electricity and can, like, teleport and shit. And then they've got the Nova 6 Bomber. They didn't really mention what it does, but pretty straightforward. I think it goes boom. And then there's Nova 6. Ta-da, you can't walk through it. Or at least not without, you know, getting stunned or hurt or something. Whatever the stupid blood wolf perk thing is, spawns in a wolf when you're killing zombies. The wolf is named Luna. Looks freaking adorable. Again, I don't play a lot of zombies, so it doesn't really matter to me. And now we get back to some more multiplayer-sided stuff. So, in the trailer, we see that Reaper has his scythe, but now it is a double-barrel 50-caliber machine gun. That is a quote taken directly from whichever one of the guys was talking. I didn't bother to jot down names or anything, I was just taking cliff notes. So, obviously, it's a minigun now. It's not your arm, and you can increase the fire rate while you're aiming down the sights, but obviously you're going to be moving super slow. And then your equipment, which is the thing I'm really excited about, is called Shroud. And Shroud is essentially a mini counter UAV. You fire it off somewhere, and then it blacks out the minimap. People can't see your red dot on the minimap. If they've got a UAV up, they can't spot you through the smoke or whatever the hell with that. And it's similar to the sensor dart, in which you have to fire it out, and, you know, you can, like, stick it to walls and stuff. So, I'm pretty sure there isn't any actual smoke involved in this. It's just that when I'm thinking of something that would keep you off of the radar, I tend to think smoke, you know, from, like, Black Ops 3, if I remember right. It did that in that game. Black Ops 2, maybe. But yeah, moving on from that, Reaper looks awesome. And then we've got some game mode related stuff. Sticks and Stones is going to be coming back, and the new crossbow that has been leaked is extremely similar to the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 crossbows. You shoot people, takes a few seconds, they go boom. Your secondary is a ballistic knife, and your equipment is a tomahawk. You know the rest. But one thing that I wanted to mention that stood out to me, because I'm obsessed with points and how that works, if you get a kill with the tomahawk, it's worth 50 points, and it bankrupts your enemy, so they lose all their points. And the other thing that's really awesome is that they have a UAV ping that goes out every minute or so, you know, to make sure that nobody's, like, camping or anything, and you know, help you, like, be more aware of who's around you and stuff. But if you're in first place, when that ping goes off, you're going to be a gold dot rather than a red dot, which is going to draw a lot of attention to you, which is going to get the action ramped up a bunch. From there, we're going to move on to the actual multiplayer maps. We're going to be starting with Der Schatten, which is translated from German to the Shadow. You play in the village below Der Eisendrache from Black Ops 3, and they've got the, whatever the hell the robots are called. I kind of fell off the grid with zombies, and I don't remember anything because it's been so long. But, essentially, you can go inside the robot's head, and it's a longer lane for sniping and such, and you can press a button, and one of the robot's fingers will, like, extend into the ground, which you can use to block off that path, or if someone is standing underneath it, you can use it to crush them and kill them instantly. It's a larger map, so hopefully it won't play like crap, but that's what they said when they were talking about it. And from there, we're going to move on to Remnant, which takes place in the Louisiana marshes and is at the Museum of Unnatural History. It's essentially just a bunch of zombies maps that are cobbled together to be like a museum. From Titanic to the transit bus, Moon, and Asylum. There seems to be some nice elevation differences, and there's a lot of neat references to zombies maps that you're going to get to see. And one thing that I don't know why they have such a weird obsession with adding larger maps now that the game is already out, but I digress. It's a larger map, and so far the larger maps in this game tend to suck, but I don't know, the hallways look really, really thin. You know, they're not like 50 feet wide. It's more along the lines of like 25 to 30. You know, so the lanes are a little bit wider, but there's a lot of them, and they go all over the place, and it seems like it's going to be a maze. And once you figure out where you're going, you're going to have it down like that, because you're going to have all the zombies locations to work off of. But it looks cool. I'm never going to get to play it, I don't think, but it looks cool. And then the third multiplayer map that I'm excited about, even though I don't like that we're getting so many remakes, is Havana from Black Ops 1. It's back. It's Havana. Just like you remember it. Yay! I loved Havana back in Black Ops 1, but to be quite frank, it is a Black Ops pass map, so at least half of the player base is never even going to be able to touch it, unless they know a friend who owns the pass, and they and their friend are always wanting to be buddy-buddy and play together at all times so they can play on the Black Ops pass maps. Because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but at the same time, one map is not going to convince me to spend another $60. Like, I already spent $60 once, and I've dropped at least like 35 on the microtransactions just because I like the game, and I want to support the developers. So, you know, it's not worth it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to be buying the Black Ops Pass because we're too late in the game's life cycle anyway. But moving on. More MP stuff. Infected will be coming back along with Gun Game, which will now have the ballistic knife as the final weapon like it was back in Black Ops 1 and 2. I believe it was also the final weapon in Black Ops 3, or maybe it never was. I can't recall. So yeah, that looks awesome. And then from there, they showed us a little Blackout trailer. You know, kind of showing off what was going to be happening with the changes to the map and stuff, and I'm going to get more into what they actually changed in a second. But the trailer was really short. It showed off Outrider wearing like a high school cheerleader uniform, and then there was some other stuff. But the thing that really stood out to me, which I found amusing and awesome, is that they had Danny Trejo and M. Shadows in the little motorcycle. And for those of you who don't know who these people are, Danny Trejo is an actor. He also played himself in Call of the Dead, and M. Shadows is the lead singer for Avenged Sevenfold. Moving on from that, though, they also showed off Russman from Black Ops 2, some weird guy who looks like he ripped a CDC outfit off of a dead guy and decided this is mine now. And a lot of fucking zombies. Like, it looks awesome. I can't wait to see what happens. From there, stuff I jotted down when they were looking at and talking about the Blackout map. It has a lot of fog. It is really hard to see more than 100 feet in front of you. Like, it looks insane. And you can't, like, for example, you can't see from one end of Hydro Dam to the other. You can see probably about maybe half of the way, you know, a third of the way across, and then your vision's just cut off by fog. However, that was showing off the foggiest version of the map, which will apparently be tied to limited time modes. And there's another regular version that has less fog. That sounded like that's what they were saying. But Asylum has wall buys now, and the other zombies locations will have them added in throughout the operation. There are possibly zombies Easter eggs hidden all over the place, and they said that we will be experiencing some very cool zombie stuff, including new zombie types. Some of them will be for limited time modes, some of them won't be. Thing that I'm really excited about is that zombies can now tear down doors, and players can blow them up with grenades. That's going to change the way the game is played, and I look forward to it, because it's going to be awesome. Also, just in case you weren't sure, the motorcycle with the sidecar is literally just the ATV, but it looks different. You sit in the side seat instead of on the back. Same thing. It doesn't have a lot of health, it moves really fast. The end. Next, little thing, they're going to be adding wonder weapons to Blackout. I'm interested to see how those are going to work. I'm interested to see which ones they're going to add and what their damage values are like and such, because the Mark II ray gun was ass. Like, the regular ray gun is pretty good, but the Mark II was ass. Also, Infection is going to be added to Blackout, and it's going to be called Pandemic. They didn't really go into anything more specific with that, but it sounds fun. Because I like regular Infected, I like Blackout, I like how many players there are in a Blackout match. Why not just combine those? They did. I can't wait to play. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. From there, we move on to the stuff about Alcatraz. Now Alcatraz is a nighttime map. The new mode is called Alcatraz Portals Horde, where they insanely increased the number of zombies, and they made it so that the zombies can navigate anywhere on the map. And we're also going to be getting new AI types for Alcatraz, which include Brutus and Hellhounds. And now, to counterbalance how many zombies are going to be, you know, you can't just kill them all to open the mystery box. You have to kill Brutus. You have to kill the warden of the asylum to get the mystery box to open. So I'm interested to see how they're going to balance his health, because you don't want him to be a bullet sponge where it's like, you need 400 rounds of the Titan to kill him, but you also don't want to be like, wow, I shot him twice and he's already dead. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. They mentioned a couple little things in closing, such as Avenged Sevenfold having some music that plays when you drop into the Blackout map, and they will maybe kind of sort of have some music at Asylum, for those of you who are into Easter eggs, like I am. I'm not sure if M Shadows was supposed to talk about that. It might have just slipped out, but watching the entire live stream, it looked like all of it was pre-recorded. It didn't look like any of it was happening live, so if it was a slip-up, they clearly didn't give enough of a shit to have them, like, reshoot that one little scene and have him not say it, or just, you know, cut it out in post. It clearly wasn't that big of a deal. Or maybe it was live, and maybe he's being spanked by Vandahar right now. We don't know. I'm sorry in advance if the quality is a lot lower. I want to try and get this video out, you know, before I eat dinner. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys next time, whenever the hell that is. Bye-bye.